Welcome back to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 39 this week. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Also hit subscribe button. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hit that download button. Helps us out a little bit. And we also finally made a TikTok. I know we've been talking about it, but we're going to start posting stuff on there, like our lists and everything. And we'll have a...
That's going to be like different. It's not just going to be like recycled from here.
Yeah, we'll just make lists of stuff on there and like react to other people's videos and everything.
Like stuff that we don't think we can make a full segment out of.
Yeah, and our TikTok is just at High Tempo Podcast, so
just like all of our other stuff.
Yeah, just like everything else. So this is gonna be a long episode probably because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I've been waiting, I've been itching to get back and talk about.
The weekend was too long.
Exactly, and that's why like the Saturday to Wednesday is just like I get so antsy. I just want to like do one on Monday in between there too, just because.
I almost wonder if we should go Wednesday, Sunday. No, there's Monday night.
I don't really have time on Sunday.
And there's
either.
Monday night football. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I'm thinking we're not going to get any of the games on Saturday. Like, aren't we just going to be like recycling the same stuff we're talking? Like, we do this.
I mean, other stuff happens though. Like, I mean, basketball games. There's going to be a game on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I guess there's Thursday night football, and then there's college football.
Yeah, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
No, the weekend was so long, and like
there's so much had happened. Not even just the weekend, just this week. So much has happened.
I felt like everything happened. Yeah, like I can't. I'm predicting hour and 45-minute episode.
Yeah. Easton, you want to talk about your sports attire for this week?
Oh, I'm wearing a Carmelo Anthony jersey. I got this when I was a 8th grader, and I went to Vegas to go watch Team USA play.
Ain't that signed?
No, the white one is signed.
Not by Melo, but...
No, so the white one is signed. So we went to a Team USA scrimmage in Las Vegas. Me and my buddy Tyler Herdeman, shout out him. And I have this white Carmelo Anthony jersey I wore. And that year, Jim Boeheim was an assistant coach for Team USA.
Former Syracuse head coach.
Coached Melo in the national championship game, and I got my jersey signed by him and the president of Team USA basketball operations. Was
Coach K there?
I don't remember.
Probably was.
Yeah, we did this like really cool. Like we did so Tyler's dad is really like creative and finds ways to make things more fun than they were. We were like the 3rd row, so I mean we were like I said something to Drummond. And Drummond pointed at me.
Drummond was on Team USA?
Yeah, it was a scrimmage.
Oh, okay.
So, like...
pretty much like there's like rookies there.
There's like 17 people there. Only 12 people play. And I said something to Drummond. Like, I was like, get big, Drummond. And he like pointed at me.
Oh, my God. That is so cap. There's no way.
No, swear. It's not cap. But Mike like finds cool things to do. And he was like, let's have like a fantasy draft. So we did like a fantasy draft of the Team USA scrimmage, and like I don't remember what it was, but like
that's cool.
DeMar DeRozan was on my team.
I love DeRozan, but I got a Rodzilla shirt on.
Classic.
Got this after the Last Dance, just to.
Does that say NWA on the top of it? NWO? New World Order. Yeah. NWO.
Yeah. I was looking for it.
I was like, I didn't notice that until today.
But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So let's get right into it, man, because there's so much to talk about. We have an extreme amount of sports to talk about, but we're starting it off with the kind of breaking news from today. It was kind of anticipated as the Nebraska either president or athletic director, whoever it is from Nebraska, kind of spoiled it, but the Big Ten's back. It's coming back October 24th. Same schedule as it was originally planned. The 10 games, only conference games. Did you see that thing, though, with the Nebraska guy, how, like, there was a hot mic, and they were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, we're getting ready for the season to start.
Hot mic?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know what, like, somebody was wearing
somebody
a mic.
was wired.
Yeah.
Like a police
Like
interview.
the guy that he was talking to, and it got, like, leaked, and, yeah.
I don't know. This is good news.
Yeah, it's back, and this is something that has been in the talks now for a couple weeks. It was talked about Thanksgiving a while ago, and now it's moved up about a month to October 24th. But it's interesting with all these college teams starting at different times. Like,
I don't think we'll start at October 24th. I think we'll start 2 weeks earlier than that, just because I don't see why not.
I don't see why you have to wait that long.
Me either. All these other I don't see why we don't start in 2 weeks. Like teams haven't quit practicing.
The SEC starts September 26th. That's when they start, and then we start a month after that. And obviously the ACC and the other one,
Pac-12.
the Big 12.
Big 12.
They have already started. So I don't know how a college.
Have you watched a college football game this year?
Yeah, I watched Kansas State lose to Arkansas State on Saturday. But that was it. That was the only game I watched.
Kansas State, Arkansas State.
And they lost. Kansas State lost. But yeah, the playoff is going to be interesting this year. I don't know how they're going to do it because obviously the ACC, if they just do the schedule how it normally is, they're going to finish the year before everyone else.
Will there be a playoff this year?
I think so. I don't see why there wouldn't be.
But then I don't know, man, because these teams are. They're only playing conference games. I don't know how the schedule's
going to work.
And they're only playing conference games.
I think how they would do it is just it's conference winners that get in.
There's only 4 Power 5 conference schools.
So
playing.
4 out of the 5. Yeah, exactly.
Playing,
the Pac-12 isn't. That's what I'm saying. I wrote down a couple losers of the Big 10 coming back. The Pac-12 is I think the biggest loser.
Me too.
Because they're not playing. So, they're the only Power 5 school now that is still not playing. Which sucks, the Pac-12 is probably one of the weaker Power 5 schools. I'd say them and the Big 12 are kind of, but the Big 12's had Oklahoma make it a couple times. The Pac-12 had Washington one year. Has Oregon ever made it? Oregon's always solid.
Marcus Mariota.
Was that a playoff though? I don't think that was college football playoff.
I feel like
I don't remember.
I definitely think it was.
I don't remember. No, I think Ohio State played Oregon in the first ever one in the championship.
No, they did.
And they won.
Yeah.
But, the Big 10, obviously Ohio State has made it several times. Michigan State's made it once. That's the only Big 10 schools that ever made the playoff. No Michigan.
Shut up. Shut up.
But, and then I think another loser of this is mainly the AAC, but also other non-Power 5 conferences because this year, if no Big 10, it'd have been a huge time for a non-Power 5 school to finally make the playoff, like UCF. UCF is in the AAC along with Cincinnati, who's usually good. I know UConn isn't good at football, but they're in the conference. Memphis was supposed to be good this year at football. Now the chances of a team like that, UCF went undefeated and didn't even make it. So
are there any rumors about the Pac-12 plan?
I haven't heard any, but I assume there is. If you're Pac-12 fans,
if you lived over there,
there'd probably be rumors about it. Yeah,
I bet. I just don't know if they'll come back. It'd be shocking to me if they came back. I don't know. I'm hoping they do.
I'm just excited, man. Big 10 football is back. Yep. And speaking of some Big 10 football, just announced earlier today too, not that long ago.
Do you want me to do it?
Sure. Go ahead.
This is bad news. It's not bad news.
I think it's great news.
You think it's good news? I think it's news.
I think as a Michigan fan, it would be great news.
Decent, kind of good. So Dylan McCaffrey announced that he's looking to transfer this year, not even playing this season.
He's going to opt out.
Opt out of the season. So you think this is good. I'm going to tell you why I think it's bad. You think it's good. Explain why you think it's good.
I think it's good because the hype this offseason for I'm a State fan, obviously, but around Michigan, a lot of my friends are Michigan fans, so I know what's going on with Michigan. The hype has been Joe Milton this offseason. Joe Milton is QB1. He deserves it over McCaffrey. He's improved so much. He's finally accurate, because Joe Milton has a cannon. He can throw the deep ball, but his accuracy's always been a question. But, that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore is what everyone is saying. But McCaffrey's still there, and McCaffrey has gotten more touches in previous years than Milton. And I just think that now it's now you are committed on Joe Milton. You don't have to worry about this. What about McCaffrey? He should play type stuff, and because I could see Michigan starting McCaffrey over Milton, even though everyone wants Milton to start. I really could see him doing that.
So you're out of the 2 QB
Plus,
issue.
one more thing.
Go for it.
Nate was just telling me, and he sent me a thing on Instagram from a Michigan page. That apparently McCaffrey was fighting for the backup spot. He wasn't even it was Joe Milton had gotten the one spot, and he was fighting for the backup with somebody else, or else he'd have been the third string.
Okay, so that changed my opinion.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to say that.
Okay.
But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say who's the backup now. Let's say Joe Milton gets hurt or plays 4 straight awful games. Right, the hype is awful. Jim Harbaugh is wrong about him. It's just not. He isn't it. Who's the backup? But if he was fighting for backup, I don't really care who the backup is.
But
hopefully Peyton Smith
I'm actually excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Joe Milton. I think that he could. I think Michigan has kind of been a school that hasn't had like a dominant quarterback in a while.
Yeah,
they really haven't. So it'd be cool to see Joe Milton be dominant and be like a Heisman candidate.
Speaking of Peyton, there is nothing cooler. Peyton Smith, one of my friends from Ithaca. There's nothing cooler than him posting a picture of him, Dylan McCaffrey, and Joe Milton, like talking to Jim Harbaugh during a practice. It was
did he do that?
Yeah, like it was like
dope.
he posted, he like added Joe Milton and Dylan McCaffrey.
That's so cool.
Like, how cool is that? He's taking reps with those guys.
Shout out Dale. He knows Joe Milton.
Does he really?
It's a long story behind that. We're not gonna get into it. So
we'll let Dale tell that one.
So pretty much, that kind of wraps up the Big Ten talk. Let's get into some hoops, man. Let's get into some hoops. So we've had some crazy things go on. Oh, I thought you were about to press a sound thing.
No, I was fidgeting.
We've seen a couple games since Saturday, but we're gonna just talk about two. I think only two. No, I guess Game 6 of Denver and Clippers happened on Sunday. Obviously, Denver won to force Game 7. First game I want to talk about though is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, because that just happened first.
Yeah.
Miami versus Boston. Like I told you on Saturday, I really don't have I can't really pick who I think is going to win because I want to see these teams match up so well.
So
and I said after Game 1, I'll be able to kind of figure out who I think is going to win.
Who do you think's going to win?
I want to hear what you have to say.
This game was awesome. A lot of great moments in it. Obviously the Bam block, the Jimmy Butler 3. What was another huge moment?
The Jimmy Butler and one that was in OT.
Over Jason Tatum. Like, that was huge.
That bucket was crazy. That was such a tough bucket. Like, JT was playing great D, and that was
He
nice.
just willed it in like a monster.
Last night was just like an amazing basketball night. Like,
it was an awesome night to be a fan.
Both of the games were just incredible games.
So, the Heat, the whole game, never felt like they had a chance to win, to me, as I'm sitting there watching. I'm watching it. They don't look good. They look sloppy. They're turning the ball over, not hitting their threes. Next few sessions, they're hitting everything. They look really good, team basketball. And that was the story. First quarter was their worst scoring quarter of the worst shooting or something like that. Second quarter was their best 3-point shooting quarter ever. Like,
really?
Of the playoffs.
That's nuts.
And third quarter, they're back to being not good. And fourth quarter, they balled. Ordered a Tyler Hero jersey yesterday before the game. Not after the game. He had a super
he
clutch.
Had a clutch 3, yeah.
Like
before in regulation.
Yeah, he was like kind of double teamed, but then one defender closed out, and he just pulled it. It was dope.
The Heat are just so fun to watch.
The Heat
man. They are just so fun because they are just so like
gritty.
They're just dogs. Like they don't have I mean, Jimmy's not.
Jimmy scored 17.
Jimmy's a superstar. He is a superstar, but they don't have like a MVP. Like they don't have a first team All-NBA guy. Like they are just a bunch of young guys that are like,
Did Jimmy make an All-NBA team?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, he did, but
he did.
Like everyone just talks about the Heat are one superstar away. They have all these young pieces, make a move for another star, and they're like, what's the point of that when we can go out and win a championship right now and then build these guys? They're only going to get better.
Only going to get better.
What are they? They're 20 years old, 21 years old. They're not going to get worse.
It's about keeping all of them.
Exactly.
I'm super excited. I got the Heat.
Anyway, and what ended up happening, if you didn't watch, Jimmy had a clutch and one. It went to overtime, but Jimmy had an and one, put him up 2.
With 22 seconds to go.
With about 20 seconds left. Tatum isolates, goes to the rim, and goes up for a dunk, and he had the advantage. Like he went up before Bam did. It looked like he was about to poster Bam to send it to double OT.
Oh, I think it would have been and one.
Which would have been,
he posted
which would have been crazy. And Bam has the most clutch block, and it was so clean. Like, it was the cleanest block. Like, didn't even touch Tatum at all. Was it the left hand? Yeah, with the left, I think.
I don't know. I thought he broke his hand.
I know, his hand was like bent backwards. It looked so bad.
Because Jason Tatum, if he would have thrown that down, it might have been one of the greatest dunks in playoff basketball history.
Better than the one over LBJ.
Yeah, no, way better. Because he was throwing that bitch
somebody
down.
on Twitter said that was the greatest.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, he said it was the greatest block in playoff history. Were you just not around in 2016,
Like,
Magic?
no.
Come on, Magic.
I'm a huge
Magic Johnson was tweeting. He's been tweeting some bold things on Twitter.
Crazy.
He
He's talking.
tweeted something. What did he tweet today? He tweeted something that was just like, that's bold. It was something about Paul George and Kawhi. Like, it was like they ain't clutch. Like, this proves that Los Angeles. It said something about how the Lakers have always been the most dominant team in LA, and this year proves it. Which that might be wrong.
That might be his bias.
That isn't wrong. But he said
like,
something about like the Clippers or about Paul George. And
that
Kawhi.
might be his like pride talking in the Lakers.
It is facts though.
It is fact.
But anything else about Miami, Boston? I mean, Dragic went off. Jay Crowder continues to be an insanely good role player for them.
Somebody got outplayed the whole game.
I don't want to hear it. Kemba had a decent game.
He got outplayed.
He did get outplayed. I agree, but I already apologize for this. But the thing for Boston is when Tatum scores 30 and you can't really lose. Tatum scored 30 plus and he played well and like.
Well, did you think Miami played well?
What else can they played well at times?
Yeah, they didn't play a good game.
That's something, and they still won.
Yeah.
It's just like it was like the Milwaukee thing when they shot the ball awful in game 1 and they still beat Milwaukee. And it's just like when Tatum scores 30 plus, what Boston has to win. They have to win that game because
I agree.
Your other guys need to step up.
JB has to step up. He didn't look assertive. He looked like another role player on the court. Partially, if Marcus Smart is hitting shots, your other guys aren't going to look as good. JB and Kemba, both are going to look worse because Marcus Smart is 26. Like, it's the way basketball works.
We don't know if Gordon Hayward is going to come back.
Rumor is he is.
I know. I heard they said on Monday that he practiced and he was full strength at practice with the whole team, and he looks good. That's huge for Boston if he plays, because then you don't have to start Marcus Smart and he brings that fire off the bench like he was.
I don't know if Marcus
or if Gordon Hayward, they just take him off the bench.
Yeah, it just makes him deeper
because their matchups still work with. I mean, both these teams are deep.
How much deeper do the Celtics need to be though? Because Brad Wanamaker played a really good game.
No, I'm saying Brad Wanamaker's solid. Grant Williams played all right.
Robert played really well.
Robert played good.
So how much deeper does Gordon Hayward make you that much better?
I mean, it's so you don't have to play one of the Williams. You don't have to play Grant.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think he's like he's not leagues better than those guys.
You don't think Gordon Hayward is much better than Grant Williams?
He's much better, but not like leagues, like not like leaps and bounds.
I think it makes the Celtics. I think the Celtics probably win Game 1 if they had Gordon Hayward over Grant Williams.
I agree.
That's a huge switch.
I agree, but do you think it makes them the favorites? If Gordon Hayward's there, it makes them the favorites?
Not if they're down in the series right now, but if it was going into the series and Gordon Hayward was confirmed back going into Game 1, yes, I think they would be the favorite.
See, for some reason,
I don't know who the favorite. I mean, Boston probably. Boston probably was the favorite.
I think Boston is the favorite.
Probably not anymore.
Now
but,
that I'm thinking about it.
One more thing I do want to say about the Celtics, even though they lost. Daniel Tice, actually might be the most underrated player in the league. I'm not even kidding. He is so underrated. I seen something on Instagram and it was a anonymous GM or something, and they didn't say who it was, but they were talking about the Boston-Miami matchup, and they were like, well, the edge that Miami has is they have Bam over Tice, and everywhere else it's pretty even. And someone was like, nah, that's way closer than you guys think. Daniel Tice is the most underrated player in the league. He's a guy that every team would love to have.
Do you think he's comparable? Who compare him? Like Baines? Is he? I mean,
no, not Baines. Baines stretches the floor.
But no, I'm saying impact-wise.
I don't know. I just think Tice plays great. Tice is like a PJ Tucker that can't shoot, but he's way better in the paint. Because he's small. He's 6'8". That's not a good comparison. It's just completely changing. But he's kind of like... I can't think of a comparison. He's like Montrezl Harrell, but just
bigger and better at defense.
He's not bigger than Harrell. Harrell's bigger. Daniel Tice is 6'8".
Oh my God! I thought he was 6'11".
No, he's small. Tice is small. That's why I said PJ Tucker.
Okay.
He's like Montrezl Harrell. I think that's a fair comparison. He just doesn't.
So.
He just isn't an asshole. But
I'm not a big Montrezl anymore. So elaborate on what. So you said he's a good defender.
He's a great defender, and he's a great he just plays his role. He's just one of those guys. He's like Marcus
I think he
Smart.
knows where to be on the court.
And he is you throw a lob to him, he'll finish it. He's athletic, man. He is athletic than more people think.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I don't know if he was on a team before, but he kind of just came out of nowhere and became like the starting center for a championship team. Like,
yeah. That is weird.
That's pretty much all I want to say about that game. Let's move on to Denver Clippers.
You want me to talk about?
Go ahead.
Denver Clippers. You want to talk about? Are we talking about Game 6 or Game 7?
Oh, Game 7. We no need to talk about Game 6.
Game 7. So I'm gonna be honest. I get done watching the Heat game. My heart is dump after the game because I'm rooting for the Heat so hard, and I had turned basketball off for the night. I sat down in my room.
You can't do that while you're the co-host of a podcast, a basketball podcast. Game 7.
I sat down and I hopped on 2K, and Sandal hits me up.
Yeah.
For one time, Easton, you gotta watch this game. I'm like, Sandal's halftime. I don't need to watch him. Easton, you gotta watch this game. This game's crazy. I don't gotta watch it. They're up by like 4. Like I can watch it in the fourth quarter. Easton, you have to turn on this game.
Because you didn't watch the development of this game. Like the way this game just like shifted was insane.
And then I was like, Sandal, I don't need to turn it on. Finally, he's like, Easton, turn the game on. Like, turn it on. I turned it on. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Right about when the Nuggets turned it on.
Turned it on. So corny. So corny. It was, I mean, I didn't watch the whole game. What I did watch, Jamal Murray has established himself
as a top point guard in this league.
Top point guard in this league.
I'm not saying top 3 point guard, but
no, top 10.
Yeah, definitely top 10.
Easily. Jokic is the best center in the NBA. There's no argument.
I want to say this too. I think Jeff Van Gundy said it. Jeff or Mark Jackson said it. And I'm glad that they did because it's something that I've always believed, but I didn't want to back it up. Jokic is the best playmaking big man of all time in NBA history. And I never wanted to say that because I never got the privilege to watch
Bill
Walton and Arvydas Sabonis. And, like Larry Bird obviously isn't a big man, but he was kind of he's a similar player to Jokic. Just a slow guy that can, play make. But them saying it really was like, okay, I'm not an idiot for thinking that.
Well, because one of them said, one of them was like, I can't really do that yet because Bill Walton, I think, is still more accomplished. And he is. Bill Walton is a more accomplished.
He has a championship.
2.
He's got one.
One with the Celtics?
Oh, I thought you meant 2 MVPs.
No,
Yeah.
1 MVP.
Yeah, 1 MVP,
2 or
2
3.
ring. He's got at least 2. He has one with Celtics and obviously the one in Portland.
So, Jokic is undoubtedly, you cannot argue with me that it's Joel Embiid, that it's Karl Anthony Towns. There is no argument to be made unless you consider AD a 5.
Which I don't, but I guess
not,
the guys who decide the All-NBA teams do.
Yeah, Jokic is the best center in the NBA, is a top 7 player in the NBA. And even though, here's how...
And he can be the best player on a championship team.
Easily.
That is, last night proved that. Obviously, I'm not saying they're going to make the championship, but last night proved that Jokic belongs in that tier of guys who because there's the top so and so players in the league, and then there's the guys who
are knocking on the door.
There's a guy. Well, no, not that, but I'm saying there's the top 10 players in the league, but then there's a certain amount of them are guys that can be the leader of a championship team.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is not one of them.
Nope.
Luka Doncic isn't one of them because he's so young. James Harden isn't one of them.
I was going to say James Harden, but I don't know if he'd freak out.
He's not. I mean,
he's close. He's pretty damn close.
I'll put Harden in there because he did, they've made the conference finals 2 or 3 times.
I think Giannis
is one game away from the finals.
Giannis is the only guy who's truly can't lead a team.
I mean, Luka isn't just because he hasn't.
I think Luka could if he had the roster.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as of right now.
Okay.
But Jokic deserves to be in that category with LeBron, with Kawhi, with Steph Curry, with Kevin Durant, Anthony. I mean, I don't know if
that you named off the guys.
Yeah,
you named them.
He deserves to be in that.
Damian Lillard? No. Damian Lillard?
Yeah. Just because the way he puts his team on his back, I would say yes.
I wasn't finished with Jokic. Jokic had 16 points, 22 rebounds, 13 assists. Did I get a stat line right?
Yeah, I have it written down. 3 blocks too.
Okay.
Jamal Murray
had 40. And Jokic was the best player on the court.
Over 50% shooting.
Jokic was still the best player on the court.
Just watching that game last night, Jokic just made so many smart reads. The way that the Clippers were playing defense was just not smart because Jokic would set a screen, and they would do a high pick and roll where he would just roll to like the free throw line, and they would either double off the screen or they would double Jokic, and they would pass it to Jokic, and as soon as Jokic caught it, they double, and Jokic goes to make a pass, and somebody jumps to the corner to pick off that pass, and he throws a no look to the guy in the wing, to Gary Harris, and he knocks it down. You know, it's just like you don't see that from big men, like you don't, especially slow guys like Jokic. Like
the Nuggets have proved a lot. You agree?
Oh yeah, they have proved a lot. They have proved that
next year
when you have your backs against the wall, they have shown that they do not fold. They are relentless. They are like there's a few amount of teams like that in the NBA. You know, like they're one of them, and it's gonna be fun to And one thing too, in that post game conference with Rachel Nichols, she kept saying like, now you guys have to go play the Lakers, and they just kept saying, what do are you ready to play the Lakers? Are you ready to play LeBron? And Jamal Murray and Jokic got pissed. They were like, man, they got to play us.
Exactly.
They were like, they got to worry about us. Like they were like, I don't know why you're saying that. Like we look what we just did. Like we just beat going into the year, the Clippers are probably the best team.
No, they were.
Yeah,
that's why
the Clippers were the best team. Yeah, I want to keep talking about Denver, and then we'll get to the Clippers, but. Actually, I'm good on Denver.
Denver, I don't know. Should we talk about the next series?
No, one thing I want to say. Michael Porter Jr. has also solidified his role on this team, which it does need to be a third scorer. Or, I mean, probably a second scorer behind Jamal Murray. Jokic, obviously, scoring-wise. Porter does need to be that guy who puts up 15 a night, but Michael Porter is an excellent rebounder. He is a phenomenal rebounder.
He's so long.
I mean, like for the wing spot, like he does a damn good job rebounding the basketball. Last night he was doing this few amount of minutes he got.
We at the beginning of the season,
we both had the Nuggets as the 1 seed.
We both had the Nuggets as the 1 seed. We were firm believers in them.
We got to react to that when the season's over too.
I was in a barber shop today. And they were in there, and they were like, "There's no way, nobody had the Nuggets." Da 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 da. I was like, "Bet." I was like, "I did."
Okay, but we had the Nuggets as the 1 seed, but
they were like the 5.
But they were the 3. But we didn't have them. Like I didn't have them winning the championship.
No, I didn't have them beating the Clippers.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so excited for this next series with the Lakers and the Nuggets. Do you want to talk about that now or after?
Let's talk about Lakers Nuggets because I want to wait to talk about the Clippers because I want to talk about them and Houston kind of together.
Jamal Murray is the hottest guard in basketball right now. No question about it. He's the hottest.
Rondo.
It's not. Jamal Murray is the hottest wing in basketball. No question.
Facts.
The Lakers have played a couple guys like that. James Harden and Damian Lillard. And both made them non-factors.
Yeah. I would agree to an extent.
This is the biggest test Jamal Murray has had since Game 7 last year against Portland.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jamal Murray, like last year, he sucked in Game 7. They lost in Denver Game 7
against
against Portland.
He was like 3 for 18.
In the same exact situation to go to the Western Conference Finals, and he was awful. Turned the ball over a lot, like had over 5 turnovers, shot poorly. And he just showed this year, like, I'm not doing that again.
He said that pushed him.
The
Obviously
Nuggets now, in the last 2 years, they are like 7-1 when facing elimination. Or 8-1, I think.
Yeah, they've got to have more because they just played 6.
Yeah, that's 6, and then they were, I think 8-1. Because I think they were down.
That makes sense.
I think they were down 3-2 against San Antonio.
I don't
know.
This is a huge test for the Jamal Murray. Jokic, it's just as big of a test. You're facing Anthony Davis will be guarding Jokic. If it's not, Lakers need to rethink how they're playing defense because I think Anthony Davis is the only player in the league, one of the only players in the league that can actually guard Jokic.
Yeah, because the Clippers kind of had to switch up what they were doing because, Zubats had been a guy who was having a great playoffs, and then he was non-existent in this series. He, not just because he wasn't good, he wasn't even playing that much because he can't guard Jokic. And they would have JaMychal Green run the 5 at times. Harrell obviously played a lot of 5, and he wasn't very good in this series either. Now you have Anthony Davis, the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year there.
And the Rockets helped the Lakers so much because we watched the Rockets finally take out JaVale McGee and say we're going to go a little bit smaller, but AD at the 5. because the Nuggets have the capability of pulling Paul Millsap out.
I still think the Lakers will start.
They will.
Yeah.
They will. Well,
Paul Millsap has been great, by the way. Now that you brought him up,
Paul Millsap's been great, but they're gonna when they take Paul Millsap out and put Michael Porter Jr. at the 4, it is now such a big deal. Still good? It is a humongous deal that the Lakers have practiced the ability of going small so they can guard Michael Porter Jr.
going
at the
small
4.
as in, it's
80
not
to
really
5.
small, but for
LeBron
them,
to
I
the
guess
4.
it is. I mean, Kuzma at the 4 probably.
Kuzma's, I was listening to a podcast and they went through and they were talking about how great defensively Kuzma has been. And I didn't realize the
Lakers in general have been great defensively.
I haven't once went, Kuzma, this entire playoffs.
I have, because when he comes into, at least in the series against Portland, he would come into the game and he would get 5 shots up in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
he would just chuck shots. But on the defensive side of the ball, no, I agree. I haven't had to say that.
And so the Lakers, I think the Lakers are the best team in basketball right now. But I'm not counting the Nuggets out because I've learned that I can't.
Say, how do you? I know that. Yeah,
we've both done that. We both did that.
Even when Denver won Game 5 to make it 3-2, I was like,
we both said,
the Clippers probably. Remember when they were down 3-1? We were like, the Nuggets might get one, but the Clippers got this. They figured it out.
Then the Nuggets won, and we're like, no,
nah, they'll get it. And then it was Game 7. I was still like, the Clippers will probably still win.
Yeah, right.
And that
we gave a 15-point blowout.
So I think I'm good on Denver for now. Denver Lakers.
Me too.
I want a prediction right now, though.
Oh man,
it's so hard.
I don't want to count the Nuggets.
It's gonna be wrong. It's gonna be wrong, but I'm going with Lakers in 6. I was gonna say 5.
I can't.
But I can't. I can't do that to the Nuggets.
I think the
Lakers need to go up 3-0 so the Nuggets have a chance. For real.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Jamal Murray is. He is just.
And this is one thing I wanted to say. Denver becomes the 13th team, or the 13th time, I guess, that a team has come back from 3-1.
The only
in the
team
NBA.
to do it twice.
They were the 12th and 13th team because they're the only team to ever do it twice in the playoffs. This is now Doc Rivers' 3rd time blowing a 3-1 lead as a head coach.
Great segue into Clippers talk.
Great segue into the Clippers.
You want to go first? I mean, we can feed off each other.
I'll go first. So first off, I just want to name some stats off from last night because obviously I want to talk about what the Clippers need to do, but
I think that comes later.
Kawhi Leonard finishes the game with 14 points, shot 6 of 22 from the field. Paul George had 10 points, shot 4 of 16 from the field. In the second half, they combined for 5 points, and Kawhi was 1 of 11. Paul George was 1 of 7. And in the fourth quarter, they combined for 0 points.
0
in the fourth quarter of a Game 7
where you were up 3-1.
Where you were up 3-1 and you were up in this game they were up by like 13, 14 points at one point in the second half. But I'm just saying the Nuggets had come back from a double digit. Yeah, that's what I meant. The Nuggets had come back from a double digit deficit in every game of this, like the last 3 games. And your 2 stars, like Kawhi Leonard said, I'm only coming to the Clippers if you can get me Paul George, who you went all in on. Can't even get you to the conference finals. They have never made the conference finals in their history of being a franchise, and I'm pretty sure they're the only NBA team that has never made the conference finals. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, they gotta be.
I would assume. I tweeted this after the game. The biggest thought for me after this game: do not ever put Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James in the same conversation again. They aren't comparable. LeBron is leaps and bounds better than Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard showed that he is not that guy. He isn't.
Colin Cowherd's prediction of Kawhi being top 5 all time if he wins it this year ain't looking too good.
He's not even.
Did you see
top
what
15.
Damian Lillard tweeted?
Yes.
About Patrick Beverley.
Yes. Cool.
He say like, I ain't booked my Cancun trip yet. You want me to book an extra ticket or something?
I got tickets to come to Cancun. And CJ McCollum was like, yo, I'll bring it because CJ McCollum has his own wine now. Like a lot of athletes.
Really?
Have you know that a lot of athletes are making their own liquor? Like they're like Conor McGregor has his own Jack or whiskey, and CJ McCollum has his own wine. He's like, I'll bring extra wine, Pat Bev. We can all drink together and just go. Yes, keep doing it. Take him off his high horse. He's not that good. He isn't. Montrezl Harrell is not that good. Lou Williams is not that good.
They just play. It's not that they're not that good. They just played bad when it mattered most.
This is the most disappointing team in NBA history.
It's got to be, dude. It's worse than the Lob City Clippers, dude. Because you look at the Lob City Clippers and you're like, how did that team not even make the conference finals? You know, they had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. And you look at this team, you're like,
wait a minute.
They have a guy that actually has like won a championship twice.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Chris Paul and them never had experience. Kawhi has done it. You know, Paul George has been to the conference finals.
I've never.
It's awful. You know, they got. Oh my God.
I got so mad.
They were the. Okay, this is the thing about the Clippers. Going into the year, they were the projected number one team, projected to win it all. At the buyout, they were the winners of the buyout because they got Marcus Morris, who was easily not the buyout, the trade deadline. They were the winners of the trade deadline because they traded for Marcus Morris, who was the best guy who got traded. I would say better than Robert Covington and Clint Capella.
I would agree.
For them, at least, fit-wise. And they didn't give up much. They were the winners of the buyout market because they got Reggie Jackson, who was the best buyout player. What else can you say?
Okay, here's my thing. Whose fault is this?
I don't know.
Somebody's at fault. And
Somebody is.
I can guarantee you it's not the general manager. The general manager is not at fault.
And it's not Steve Ballmer either. It's not the owner.
What do you want them to do?
Is it Doc Rivers? You know, Doc Rivers took the blame. Obviously, it's what you do as a coach, though. Yeah. Is it Doc Rivers' fault? Like,
no.
What else do you do when your guys aren't making shots and they can't guard guys? You know, it's not. Doc Rivers' rotations weren't wrong. He made a great choice early in this series to, you know, kind of take away Zubac's minutes and, you know, running JaMychal Green at the 5 actually worked for them because JaMychal Green can stretch the floor and he is quicker than Zubac. Obviously, he's not, you know, as big as him, but like Doc Rivers, I'm not blaming this on Doc Rivers at all. Like, I don't think he did I'm not saying he was a Hall of Fame coach, Doc Rivers, this series, but like everyone's saying Doc Rivers on the hot seat. Like, no, like why would you? No, like don't get rid of Doc.
You just said it. Doc Rivers did everything right to put the Clippers in position to win. I blame. Easton Junker blames one player, and that is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I figured it was Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard, this isn't his setting.
I probably blame Kawhi as well.
In the bubble, you can't be fun guy Kawhi who shows no emotion anymore. It doesn't get your team working. You look at the Celtics, loud, hyping each other.
Yeah, but the Clippers are all that except for Kawhi. All of them are like that,
but that's his best player. That's their best player.
That.
You looked at they were lifeless.
Yeah, you look at the Miami Heat.
LeBron is the loudest dude on the court. The Clippers,
the Nuggets, they got that mojo to them too. Like
the Clippers looked lifeless on the floor. They didn't even look like they wanted to be there. Like
it's just like it was crazy in the second half, just watching them just like not be able to score. Like
it was sad.
It was crazy. Okay, so I want to ask you.
Wait, big stat?
Sure.
I don't know. You might have said this. They didn't score a field goal until 6 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I just talked about that Kawhi and Paul George didn't score.
Are you kidding me? Camera?
In Game 7, bro. In Game 7. Like, and it was just like, it was such a good game because Nuggets were down by like 7 at the end of or at halftime. And then they started like picking it up and they were up by like 6 going into the fourth. And then it became a 20-point game, like out of nowhere. It became 20. Like
it was Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray hit a 3, and then Jokic got a steal and passed it to Jeremy Grant that was like a 5-point shift like that, and it was just like,
Didn't somebody else get a leak out dunk? Wasn't there 2 leak out dunks?
Probably, I don't know. Gary Harris maybe. But
I think Mason Plumlee made a leak out dunk pass.
Him and Jokic were never on the court at the same time.
No, I don't think they were, but I think Jokic was on the bench.
Maybe, but
doesn't he start the fourth quarter on the bench?
He didn't play like the first 4 minutes because he was in foul trouble, but
yeah. Dude, he was in foul trouble.
So here's the thing about the Clippers. What does this team need to like? Because going into the offseason, you don't have Marcus Morris. He's a free agent. Montrezl Harrell
is gone.
Is probably gone. I assume he's going to get a bag from somebody that they can't afford to give him, unless he wants to come back and be the 6th man again, which maybe that's his thing. You know,
you can't be talking all that.
Reggie Jackson is gone. Other than that, though, you have your core. You still have Kawhi, Paul George, you know, I'm going to include Patrick Beverley in there, I guess. Lou Will, Landry Shamet. You have your guys. You could probably bring back Marcus Morris, unless he gets a bag somewhere, too.
I can see Marcus Morris getting paid.
Too. But I definitely can see Montrezl Harrell getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I noticed that
you had a question.
It's hard to. I was gonna say, what do you think the Clippers need? And it's hard to let's just assume that Marcus Morris and Montrezl Harrell come back. Even though they're not gonna, let's just assume they do. What does this team need to get over the hump? Because obviously something is missing. They're just very inconsistent. And I know what it is, but it's hard to figure it out because this team is so
you know what it is.
Okay, I don't know, but I have my opinion on what it is.
I think I have my
opinion. This team is so well put together. They have it all, but what do you think it is?
Are they any? I'm not going to answer your question with a question because I think that's bullshit. But I don't think they're much different than the Bucks. I think they could use a little bit of a guy who gets the ball in his hands and takes over. That's not Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. Paul George showed he couldn't do it. In the fourth quarter of this game, he's posting up, backs into him once, backs into him twice, doesn't budge. Guy comes in doubles, and Paul George doesn't even look where he's passing it. Just throws it over his guy's head. Out of bounds pass.
Yeah.
Paul, you can't do that. Or do they need a Chris Paul? Maybe. Do they need a Jordan Clarkson? Maybe. They need somebody.
That is my exact answer. They need. I'm saying the Bucks more need a playmaker, but the Clippers need a floor general. I know those are similar. They're very similar, but
Chris Paul's both.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Like Chris Paul on this team, obviously, it's never gonna happen because of the money. But Chris Paul on this team been perfect, but it's so weird just throwing Chris Paul around.
No, here's the thing.
Chris Paul makes every team better, man.
What? We say Chris Paul as if they don't.
If you would have told me a year ago that we'd be throwing Chris Paul around this valuable, I would have told you, shut up. Chris Paul's value was so low last year.
He's nobody anymore. Oh, here's the thing. I don't know how much that actually, Chris Paul is on that team as if they don't already have the best roster in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue.
Yeah, I know. They easily have the best roster on paper because LeBron and AD are the best duo. After that, their best player is probably JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
Or Kuzma. And it's just that is not what you need. They don't have a big three. Who would you say the third best player on their team is? On paper.
Third best player on paper.
No, not on paper. Just who do you think? It's probably Rondo.
I was just going to say Rondo. It might be Rondo.
I want to say Danny Green, but it's not in the playoffs.
Danny Green.
It's probably Rondo.
So, wait. Who's the Clippers' big three?
Paul George, Kawhi, and it's nuts. They don't have a big three.
But they have a roster.
They have a top two, and then they have 5 guys that could probably be almost all stars on horrible teams.
I think you put Montrezl Harrell on a bad team.
You put Montrezl Harrell in Charlotte. He averages 25 and 13. You put Lou Will in not Chicago. You put Lou Will just somewhere this. I don't know.
You put Marcus Morris on a decent team, and he might be sixth man of the year.
You put Marcus Morris on the Sacramento Kings.
He might be sixth man of the year.
He averages 20. I mean, he averaged 20 for the Knicks. He averaged
TJ
19.
Warren. TJ Warren averaged 15 a game. You got to realize that.
He averaged 19 this year.
I thought it was 15.
No, he averaged 18, 19.
Okay.
He was their leading scorer this year.
Didn't you just say Marcus Morris might average 19?
He did. He averaged 18 on the Knicks, when he was, but then he got traded and his numbers went down, obviously. But
yeah,
the Clippers they need a floor general, not just a guy who's gonna play make for them, but they just need a guy who when stuff is going wrong, like it was last night, they need a guy to be yo, give me the ball, let's run it, let's
score.
They need a guy who can just set up something for them to get a bucket, not a Kawhi Leonard ISO or a Paul George ISO, because when you have no momentum, isolation plays are not going to work. When the Denver Nuggets have all the momentum, clearly they're making every shot, they're getting every stop. ISOs are not going to work unless you are being guarded by a 5'11" player and you're 7 foot tall. That's not going to work. You need a guy that's going to set you guys up to get a bucket. Like a Ricky Rubio. Just a guy like him. I don't know, man. The Clippers are just this is so disappointing. I really wanted to see LA versus LA in the conference finals. They've been awesome, but it's just the Clippers, man. They just can't do it. They have such bad luck. I feel bad. I feel like I'm bad as a Lions fan. Imagine being a Clippers fan.
I was physically how Paul George is it's hard not making fun of him because it's not cool.
I do think the Paul George slander is a little over the top, except he was awful last night.
And it's not funny or cool to make fun of somebody mental health. Paul George said he was struggling when they're the playoff P, first round Dallas Mavericks was going around. Not funny to make somebody, but he can't even pick up his phone right now. like hitting that shot in the corner that hit the top of the backboard.
Oh my God, that was awful.
Dude, Paul George. Like, you were third in MVP voting last year.
You were first team. You were a top 5 player in the NBA last year, and you hit the side of the backboard in Game 7. When
I don't do that. It's a high school basketball player.
You put
I've never done that.
You put Jagger in the corner, man. He's at least airballing it the other way,
right.
not the side of the backboard.
Like, Paul George, you have to be better. Kawhi Leonard, you have to be better.
Clippers, I kind of just want to wrap it up on them here, but going into this offseason, I don't think you need to change that much. I think you need to try and bring your guys back. If you can't, get guys that can do the kind of the same thing, and go get a guy who's going to average 7-8 assists a game, because Patrick Beverley clearly cannot be the floor general for your team.
So we talked about the Paul George. My last thing, Paul George slander is too much. It's not cool. It's just too much. Obviously, you can slander him. Hey, Paul George, you had an awful series. You're not a bad player. Everybody in the league knows Paul George is a great basketball player.
And most players have, at some point, if they have a long career, have a period where they struggle.
But the good memes that came out of this, the Jokic memes, holy moly, are they funny.
That picture of him in the car when he's like 9 years old.
He's like super chunky.
Yeah. This dude just beat Kawhi and Paul George.
Or like the Clippers, Lou Will strippers.
Yeah.
I don't care. Nuggets in 7. Like, that stuff is so funny. It's great.
Yeah, it is funny.
The bubble has brought up
Nuggets.
the best. But that actually brings up another topic that I wanted to bring up. Do you think Jamal Murray comes back down to earth after the bubble's done? Do you think we're going to see that?
I don't know.
With a couple players?
I think so. I think the bubble really is different. Like,
it helps players. Some players.
Next year you go back and Jamal Murray could be I'm not saying Jamal Murray was bad. He was a very solid point guard, but I mean Jamal Murray has looked like an all-star, not an all-star. He's looked like a superstar.
Yeah.
Possible MVP candidate.
Yeah.
I think he does come back down to earth.
At least he has to a little bit.
He has to. There's no way he can. I mean, it's the playoffs too. A lot of people excel in the playoffs. You're not going to play that all season.
We're not saying he's going to be he's going to be bad. Will he keep up being a 25 points a game scorer?
Will he average 23 points a game
instead of what he averaged?
He averaged probably 17 or 18.
Yeah. Will he keep this up and grow on
just
this?
keep shooting this well?
Yeah.
I think he will.
I think he will, and I'm hoping he does.
Because you want to prove to people that you can do it. It's not just the bubble. Will TJ Warren do it? Keep doing it. But
I don't think he will. I'm so excited for the bubble documentaries we're gonna get when we're 40 years old.
Oh yeah, those would be nice. Talk to our kids about it.
Yeah, we lived that. The
last NBA thing I want to talk about is another team that got eliminated, the Houston Rockets. Kind of same thing about the Clippers here, but it's different because the Clippers, we don't really know what they should do. The Rockets, there's a lot of different things that you can say that they have to do. Rockets, they were trying to revolutionize basketball, become this small ball lineup that wins it all. What?
I'm so sorry. Another thing popped in my head.
About the Clippers?
Yes.
Oh my God. Dude. Is it that important?
Yeah, it is. Did you see the post-game interviews? They were bad.
About what?
Doc Rivers and Kawhi and Paul George.
I seen Doc Rivers. I didn't see
We're so optimistic for next year. We can get him next year. Do you not know who comes back next year?
Stephen Curry comes back next year.
With possibly a superstar or James Wiseman. It says they're looking for a wing player. That's what their GM came out and said.
Luka gets better.
Grizzlies Portland is better. Grizzlies,
Pelicans
you might miss the playoffs. No, I'm playing. But Nuggets
That's what I'm saying. A couple teams in the West have to fall out, like the Jazz.
Somebody has to. I hope it's the Jazz.
They have to.
If I'm rooting for a team to lose, it's the Jazz. Not that I don't like them.
Portland
I just like everybody
out.
else a lot more.
Yeah. But
anyways, Rockets, small ball.
So they were trying to revolutionize the game. Daryl Morey is one of the kind of most well-known owner, or is he not an owner? He's a GM. Yeah.
Daryl Morey?
Yeah.
Yeah, GM.
Is he an owner too? Does he do both? Nah, I think he's just a GM.
Who else? There was somebody I was talking about today who's a GM owner.
Is it
Pat Riley? Is Pat Riley a GM owner?
Nah, I think he's just GM. I don't know.
I think he owns the team.
I don't know. Anyways, I know Daryl Morey's at least a GM.
I don't have my phone.
But
yeah, he is.
Daryl Morey kind of is he's a very smart guy. He's a very smart person. And he wanted, he realized after getting Russell Westbrook, we need to get rid of Capella because, if we're committed on Westbrook, he can't succeed this well. And it worked during the regular season. And Russell Westbrook, was awarded with All-Star, and, as we'll get into it later, he was awarded with an All-NBA appearance. But in these playoffs, it just showed that it didn't really work. They really do need a center, and it doesn't have to be a Clint Capella. It can be just a center that can stretch the floor.
I think that is the answer.
The Rockets, obviously a lot of people are saying, let's move on from Westbrook. Let's trade Westbrook. Let's trade Harden, And Harden in the post-game interview said, we're one piece away. He said we just need to get another piece that can help out me and Russ. He strictly said me and Russ. And so making sure, he'll be here next year with me,
So here's a quick question. Do you think that's true?
What?
Do you think they're one piece away? I don't know how big of a piece.
It depends on the piece. Well, no, I'm going to say no because I don't know what, with their current roster and assets that they have, how big of a piece they could get. Because what can you trade? If you're not going to trade Harden or Westbrook,
you don't have a pick.
You're not going to trade Covington, are you? Covington is kind of been your guy.
You can trade. You have to trade PJ Tucker.
You don't have
Covington
a lot of picks. No, you can't trade PJ Tucker. You got to trade Eric Gordon first because he's on a $15 million contract.
But who do you? Okay, so the style of player that I envision.
No, but this is one thing.
Go for it.
Kenny Beecham was kind of trolling on Twitter, but it also has been a thing that's going around. Westbrook for Blake Griffin.
Yeah. He started that as a joke, and then it became serious.
But there's been talks about it everywhere. I would like to see Blake Griffin try to be in this small ball. If he's healthy, cool. But do we want Westbrook?
No.
That'd be dumb. I mean, if we had Westbrook, it's that's cool. He played for the Pistons, but
I would love to see Blake Griffin on the Rockets. Yeah. I would hate to see Westbrook on the Pistons.
Westbrook could probably go off on the Pistons,
but he'd make us win.
He'd average 30.
He'd make us win.
Yeah, and I want to draft a point guard too.
Yeah,
so
I want Tyrese Halliburton.
But, what do you think? Just the Rockets, what they need to do this offseason, or if they do, do you think they need to blow it up?
No,
because you got to remember too, like we've been talking, the West is only getting better.
Yeah, I think they have to go to the East and pull a player out of the East. The problem is they need a defending 3-point shooting big man.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of those. The perfect definition of that is Aaron Baines, Miles Turner,
Dwayne Dedmon.
Is Dedmon ain't a 35-minute a guy at night in the playoff type guy though?
But at least he can play. I mean,
yeah.
PJ Tucker can play the 5 for a little bit.
They need a backup too.
PJ Tucker can play for a little bit. Yeah. That's 5.
They need 2 centers.
Yeah. Tyson Chandler ain't cutting shit.
I really think that they need to switch it up. They need to switch up their system.
Okay, so you mentioned Miles Turner. I love that.
I do too. But what do you give to the Pacers?
Yeah, because the Pacers don't. They're not losing.
Would the Pacers take Eric Gordon?
Rocco?
No, you don't. No, you don't trade Rocco. I don't think Houston trades Rocco.
So you're saying Eric Gordon is the only piece?
I was thinking of you trade Eric Gordon, Daniel House, and a first. Do they accept that? Because Miles Turner's been he's been on the trade block.
If they're
trade
stupid,
talks for a while.
I mean, if you're stupid, you do. The Pacers don't want to lose right now.
But the thing is, they still don't know how Sabonis and Turner, it worked for a while, and then it started to not really work. We don't really know how the Sabonis, Turner, how, Indiana, and Indiana just recently fired their coach.
I think
you got to think about it that way, too.
Indiana has one of the best rosters in the East. I love their roster. Their starting 5
I love their roster too.
Unreal when everybody's healthy. Malcolm Brogdon, Vio, TJ Warren, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner.
Off the bench, you have Aaron Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Doug McDermott.
That's a great roster. Well built. You trade away Miles Turner for Eric Gordon, you might as well throw that in the drain. Who's going to play your 5?
But I said, they just got a new coach, so what if they're trying to switch things up?
Maybe, but Eric Gordon isn't the option.
No, I do agree, though, that I don't think they'd be getting enough in return.
I don't think they can trade for Bainsey for that.
But the thing is, I don't think you get Covington. I don't think they trade Covington for Turner because Covington was traded for Clint Capella. I think we can both agree Capella's better than Miles Turner.
Yeah.
They traded a pick and Covington to get, or a pick and Capella to get Covington. They were committed to that, and that shows Covington's value. I think Covington's value is a lot higher than you think it is. I don't even think Covington for Miles Turner straight up Rockets would do that.
You think that they're not getting enough in return?
Yeah, I think the Pacers.
I think at this point
the Pacers would accept that in a heartbeat.
I think at this point,
Rocco on the Pacers. That would be lit, bro. Move
That's what I'm
Sabonis to the
saying.
5, Rocco at the 4.
But they need something, and Miles Turner could be the answer.
But
at the same time, I don't think
what
he's
if
good.
you
No,
move-
you're right. I don't think he's good enough.
exactly.
I don't.
He's not that piece. Like
He isn't.
What do you do? Just like trade Ben McLemore and a future first for a late first in this draft and hope you. You know who they need, bro? Okay, you probably don't. Do you pay attention other than like the out of the lottery this year's draft class? Have you paid attention to that at all?
Not big time.
Like other than we did our mock draft.
No.
Do you know that like Alexei Pukaskevi guy? I'm really butchering his name.
No.
Pukaskevi or something like that. He's a like a 6'11", 7-foot power
Stretch
forward.
5.
Or stretch 5, you could say. And he's a like definition of a stretch 5. He's supposed to go like 18th or 19th in the draft, like in that late teens, early 20s. If they could somehow trade up and get him, that would be nice.
What
What were you gonna say?
crap?
What else could the Rocket? Aaron Baines
No.
is a free agent this year.
But he's not-
think. How
He's
much
not
money
the
do you
answer.
think Baines could
10
get?
mil. 12 mil.
I agree.
I don't know. I know what I was going to say. The Rockets have shot themselves in the foot.
No, they have because they went all in on something that didn't work.
And not many teams ever go all in. The Celtics have never went all in. They have had plenty. And they did. Okay, Kyrie Irving, they went all in.
Teams go all in when like they know that they can at least like make the finals.
Yeah, which you didn't know with small ball. You saw
Especially
the Warriors
in
do
a
it.
loaded Western Conference too.
You saw the Warriors did it, and the Warriors are different. And they had a
Okay,
true
actually,
five.
the Brooklyn Nets went all in
Yeah.
on Paul Pierce
And
and
KG.
KG and
Perk?
Yeah.
Perk on that team.
No, they got somebody else too. I don't
But
remember.
that is the issue. A lot of teams will never go all in because the Rockets are now screwed unless some team decides we'll give away one of our players. The Rockets are screwed for the
For
years
like the
to
money
come.
wise, like how the Suns
Yeah.
gave TJ Warren to the Pacers for like just for like literally nothing, like
Yeah.
for cash considerations.
Yeah, and like that's it. The Rockets have now shot them. They're not going to be good for years to come. I think unless some team just decides
And it's
to
the
be
thing
crazy.
too, like because the Rockets, it's not like they can just go out and sign somebody in free agency because they have 40+ mil. Like Harden and
Two
Westbrook,
supermax.
Harden and Westbrook are both making $41 million next year. Eric Gordon's making like 18, and no one's a free agent this offseason. Like they're not getting anybody off. The only guys they're getting off the books are Tyson Chandler and somebody else who doesn't play. I forget. It's somebody else who doesn't play.
I don't even know the rest of the roster.
Your whole squad's coming back. I think Ben McLemore might be gone, but you could probably get him back for cheap. So like you could maybe move like Chris Clemens, and that's a young player, I guess. But like you have to move Eric Gordon to get anybody because of his $18 million deal. But who wants Eric Gordon's 34-year-old $18 million contract?
As much as you say we can't trade Rocco, that might be the only option.
But how much better than Rocco can you get?
I don't know because I don't know a big man better than Miles Turner.
That is like
Fits what they
that
need.
fits, and that also is available to trade because
because Jokic
in
and
all
Cat.
reality, Karl Anthony Towns would be the absolute perfect fit for the
greatest
he's
3-point shooting
greatest
big man of
stretch
all.
big of all time. Statistically, I'm not saying a hot take.
Well,
but-
who would be better now?
no, like I'm saying no, like he is.
He shoots
statistically
most.
is the best.
Yeah. Shoots
three-point
most and
shooting
makes the
big
most.
man ever. Yeah, but like obviously they're not. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what the Rockets. They're in a tough spot, and I think they just need to change their system. Like D'Antoni is gone, so they need to change this ISO ball. Obviously, you can still do ISOs, but like try to get just some plays set up for Harden instead of just him
Sitting
taking
in
the
the
ball.
corner.
Get him coming off a screen and throwing a lob to Westbrook or something. Like just switch it up a little bit. At least because the way that you guys are in a position now, you're kind of just like in a like when a team is down 3-1, like you have nothing to lose pretty much. The Rockets like now really have nothing to lose because they already lost it all. So they can do whatever they want here and just see how it goes.
I bet you've heard about this. This has been in big conversations. Before Kobe Bryant passed, he was asked, and this is rest in peace to Kobe. He mentioned the way the Rockets play. This was like 4 months before he passed away. They will never win And people were like, Kobe, like that's blasphemy. No.
What the fuck, Kobe?
Kobe himself learned that.
Yeah.
With those 4 years out Shaq when they didn't win a title. He knew. He's like, no, you can't do that. He figured it out. He said, I'm the best scoring guard, one of the best scoring guards of all time. I couldn't do it. I don't think James Harden can do it.
Yeah.
And he was right. Kobe Bryant was right, is right, and will be right on that.
What do you think the odds are that Westbrook or Harden get traded this offseason?
None.
I kind of agree. I don't see him moving him because I don't know what you can get him back for Westbrook, what team wants Westbrook at least. I'm not saying Westbrook's value is nothing, but it's just like, the only team that would want Westbrook is a contender. Like,
And he's not a winner.
you could say that.
He doesn't really win. Right?
No, I agree. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Are you done with the Rockets?
Yeah, I think it's time to move on to.
Well, I kind of want to talk about Mike D'Antoni.
All right, make it quick. We're already an hour in.
My favorite destination for Mike D'Antoni, Philadelphia. Figure out how to build an offense in Philadelphia.
Cool, D'Antoni's a genius. Like, no matter what you say,
genius.
Like, he's a genius on offense. Like, he knows how to get an offense to work. I didn't even think about that. D'Antoni in Philly. Hey, figure it out. Here,
just here, but we can't do it.
Here's $8 million a year to figure this out.
We don't know how to get Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid to both play.
For real, I would do it. I would so do that. I don't care if you're 75 years old. Figure it out. Elton Brand, he can't do it. Let's have somebody else do it.
Okay.
We have two more basketball things to talk about. Then we're finally going to get into football. But all NBA teams got announced not that long ago, probably 2.5 hours ago. So let's talk about them. Our predictions were wrong, but obviously you're not going to get them right. All NBA first team.
Did we do all? Oh, we did.
Yeah, I got them. I got mine written down.
Oh, I wish I had mine.
But maybe you might. Probably not.
How long ago was it?
It was probably
check what episode it was.
4 or 5 episodes ago. Episode 33. No, that was a mock draft.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, I don't have it. Damn, that would have been cool. Okay.
Is that it? No.
I don't have it. I only go back to episode 33.
Episode... There's no way it was that long ago, right? It wasn't that long ago.
It might be on my phone. Mine might be on my phone.
All right, I'm not going to be able to find it. So I
think
I don't
just
really
saw
care.
it.
I think I remember it.
I think I just saw it.
Probably seen it right here. Anyways.
Yours right there?
Yeah. All NBA first team
that's not what I was saying.
was James Harden, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. All NBA second team, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, Nikola Jokic. Third team, Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, and Rudy Gobert. Initial reaction that you just noticed something. I have two things that I instantly are
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert over Bam Adebayo is a crime.
That's
wrong. That's a crime, bro.
Jokic, Anthony Davis being considered center, wrong. He literally is not a center. Yeah. He plays power forward for the Lakers.
I can't believe Kawhi was on second team though.
Me either. He played 40 games.
Actually, no, he had to be. No, never mind. He had to be second team. I did predict him as second team because he had to be.
I don't know.
Siakam on second team is kind of nuts.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, because this is off the regular season.
Name the third team again.
Ben Simmons,
I saw your tweet.
Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Rudy Gobert.
And I saw your tweet.
My tweet is it is a crime that Chris Middleton was not on one. You could have made an argument for Chris Middleton as second team All NBA. You got this is now off of the playoffs. This is off of regular season. Chris Middleton was the second best player on the best team in the league with the MVP on his team, and he was almost 50, 40, 90, and he was an all-star. He averaged 22 points a game, great defender. How does that? I don't know. I mean,
how's that not good?
Because then you would look at who would have to be over. It had to be over because he's a small forward. So he's
have to be over Jimmy or Jason.
Be over Jimmy or Tatum. Without Kemba, the Celtics need somebody. Kemba's not on this list, so the Celtics being the 3 seed in the East, you deserve somebody. Jimmy Butler, the Heat deserve somebody too, though. So, I mean, I kind of get it.
See, I don't think the Heat deserve anybody. I think the Heat are so team basketball oriented.
Because Jimmy Butler, he didn't really have statistically. He did not have a good regular season. Like obviously,
he took a back seat.
Yeah, and
he coasted.
He averaged like 19.9 points per game and shot awful from the three.
I think it's okay that Chris.
He shot like 21%. Like I think Chris Middleton deserved a spot, but
we've seen
it's whatever.
Yeah, because you put Bam over Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
and you give Miami their player.
Exactly.
You put Chris. Yeah, dude. The voters are awful.
We
just saw
awful
that
because they come out with this stuff during the playoffs. It's just like, why not announce it like back when Derrick Rose got to raise the
first
MVP
round
trophy before the playoffs started? Like, why not do it like that? Because then all this playoff bias gets into it. Like Siakam on being second team, I've seen so many people on Twitter like, well, Siakam sucked in the playoffs. He only could do a spin move. It's like in the regular season, Siakam was great. Like Chris Paul was great in the regular season. You know, like Russell Westbrook was great in the regular. Okay, not great, but
back half
enough to make a All-NBA team. Ben Simmons the same way. Like Joel Embiid didn't make it either, but obviously injury wise. But
we also
Joel Embiid didn't make one. Actually, he wasn't hurt that much.
No, but Bam.
I think
Bam deserved it over.
I think I had Joel Embiid on my second team when we did these predictions.
But we also had Jokic playing the 5.
Yeah.
So, everybody knows the voting is bad. The voters aren't very good, and we saw that this year because of the defensive, all defensive teams. I want you to be sitting down when I talk about this because this is huge. I don't know if you've heard about this. I assume if you've been listening through the wire.
What, that Beverly Mayer team?
Luka Doncic got a vote for all NBA defensive team. He got one single vote.
What?
There is not a basketball watcher that doesn't know that that dude has to have his votes stripped away. He does not deserve a vote. I deserve a vote. Sandal deserves a vote. Who gave
your mom deserves a vote?
Yeah, my mom knows Luke is not a good defender. I mean, that's an issue.
My mom don't know who Luke is.
Brooke Lopez doesn't belong on the list. Whether they run the defense through him, but statistically there are better defenders.
He's a great rim protector.
But there are better defenders.
Yeah, but he deserves to be in the conversation.
The best wing defender in the NBA. Okay. Best guard wing defender in the NBA. Drew Holiday didn't make a list.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable.
You gonna say Marcus? He's better wing defender than Marcus Smart?
Yeah, I'd say that.
I don't think I would agree with that.
I think if he is on the Bucks, he's DPOY discussion.
Yeah, just because they're good. Yeah,
and they're good defensively, sure. And he is on a different level. Are you looking up the Bleacher report? What are you looking up?
We're going to do this article.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be reacting to something. So once again, we are just making this episode longer than it needs to be because we still have to talk about our NFL and do our picks.
This might be a 2-hour episode.
So yeah, it's going to be a long one, but
we're not going to talk. We should have said that earlier in the episode.
So
we're going to talk about the NFL for a long time.
We were going to do this thing that was like 5 superstars that should be on trade watch, but it's just obvious as Giannis and Bradley Beal and Chris Paul. That was weird. Drew Holiday. But we are doing one blockbuster trade that every team should consider making this offseason. Obviously, Bleacher Report makes one blockbuster trade idea for every NBA team. And the picture is LeBron and Chris Paul, so I assume Chris Paul getting traded to the Lakers. So let's start off. Atlanta Hawks trade John Collins and Kevin Huerter to the Warriors for the 2nd overall pick.
Bad. That's an awful trade.
Yeah.
They're saying that's a Hawks.
I agree.
Why would you trade John
maybe the Warriors do that for the Warriors, but
John Collins and Kevin Huerter.
All the Bleacher Report articles revolve John Collins and Brandon Ingram getting traded, and just those are two guys that I don't see getting traded. Like John Collins is a piece of their young future. Why would you? You literally are building in the rebuild process. Like you are going up. You doing that just literally sends you down here because then they have the 2nd and the 6th pick in a not that loaded draft.
Yeah, just keep going, keep rolling. What you got? There's no reason.
We'll just go on. We'll just say either a good or bad. Like it's instantly
bad.
I agree. And you give up Kevin Huerter too. Boston Celtics trade Gordon Hayward to the Pacers for Miles Turner, Jeremy Lamb, and Aaron Holiday.
Good.
Good for the Celtics, but there's no way that the Pacers would do that. That's a lot for Gordon Hayward. Maybe Miles Turner and like a second-round pick, but Aaron Holiday is a great young point guard. I don't see that. Like, Jeremy Lamb is a very good bench player.
Miles Turner would fit great with them.
Great trade for the Celtics, but
would never happen. Good trade.
Not for the Pacers. Yeah, it never happened, though. Brooklyn Nets trade Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, and Nicholas Claxton to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday. Bad, but not as bad as it sounds. Because, like, Karis LeVert, I mean, Drew Holiday, this is valuing Drew Holiday really high, but
I don't think he has that much value. I think Karis LeVert is bald. He showed he's a bald.
Drew Holiday has more value than Karis LeVert, obviously.
No, absolutely.
Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen.
It's a stretch.
I think maybe Karis LeVert and Claxton and, like, you throw in, like, Musa or Karoots could probably get it done.
Yeah. That's a bad trade.
Good for New Orleans, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Charlotte. Oh, we got Blake Griffin in the picture. Nicholas Batum and the 32nd pick via the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Pistons for Blake Griffin. Great trade for both sides.
Great trade.
For the Hornets, actually, it's probably not a good trade because you're giving up a first-round pick and you have an extra year of $32 million or whatever.
So why are there 30
Oh, yeah,
teams?
second-round pick. My bad.
I think there's 32 picks in the draft.
No, there's not. There's 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this trade as a Pistons fan. That's all I have to say.
Me too.
Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen to the Timberwolves for James Johnson, Jarrett Culver, and the number 1 overall pick.
What a shitty trade. Bad.
Awful trade. You're trading Lauri Markkanen right back to Minnesota where he technically came from. Why would you get the number 1 pick? Because I assume they would take LaMelo Ball. Because I don't think Anthony Edwards kind of is their guy.
I don't know.
You have Kobe White, though. You have Kobe White.
You'd be taking James Wiseman.
And with the number 1 overall pick, though,
you already have Wendell Carter.
You're giving up your literal 2 of your 3, like, young core play.
Wendell Carter.
2 of your 4.
What a bad trade. Awful.
You get Jarrett Culver back, but, like...
Bad.
He's meh.
He's not bad, but
do you see the all-rookie teams came out, by the way? They also did. It's not really
I saw it. It was like Brandon Clark, John Morant. Yeah, I saw
Zion, yeah. Cleveland Cavaliers.
But Tyler Hero was on the second team. That's bullshit. No, he didn't have a good regular season.
Kevin Love to the Wizards for Thomas Bryant, Ish Smith, Jerome Robinson, and the 37th pick.
Wow, I like that trade for both sides. I think that's a well-fair trade.
That's a fair trade, but at the same time, Cleveland has the 4th pick, so they would have to. Obviously, you're not taking a Kongwu, so you'd have to take like a wing. I guess you'd take Obi Toppin still, run him at the 4.
Yeah, you don't want to take another point guard.
Yeah, you don't want to take a point guard or a center now because you have Thomas Bryant and Drummond and Tristan Thompson. But I mean, Thomas Bryant's probably the only one that would be there for the future. That's not a bad trade at all because Kevin Love, the Wizards could fight for a playoff spot next year. If they end up keeping Bradley Beal, they have John Wall back. Do this trade. They literally have zero money after it because John Wall's still on a huge deal, but fair trade. Dallas Mavericks. Ooh. Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleba, number 18th pick and number 31st pick to the Trailblazers for CJ McCollum. Ooh, interesting. I like this for the Mavericks. I don't know if the Trailblazers do it, though. There's been a lot of talk about CJ McCollum getting traded. I don't know why.
I don't like the trade.
I don't like CJ McCollum getting traded out of Portland. Like, they might have to change something up, but like...
I don't think he fits the Mavericks. I think he's a little too ball dominant.
He does have the ball a lot, but I mean, he's played with Dame Lillard.
Yeah, he also... Yeah.
Lucas, they're both... I mean, he's shown that he can play with a ball dominant guard, but... That's not a bad trade. I mean, I think CJ McCollum could definitely be the 3 of a big 3 for sure.
Me too.
Can't forget about Porzingis.
I agree.
Denver Nuggets. Obviously, this one's kind of a given. Trade Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., Monte Morris, and the 22nd pick to the Wizards for Bradley Beal.
Bad.
Why? Because Michael Porter Jr.'s in it?
And Gary Harris.
No, dude.
They both average like 14 a game, bro.
Depending on what they do, I think it's a good trade for both sides.
Maybe mid-season next year.
Yeah, depending on how the Nuggets pan out.
Tam out.
Yeah, I meant to say pan. Detroit Pistons. Derrick Rose to the Lakers for Kyle Kuzma and Avery Bradley. Almost good. You'd replace Avery Bradley with a pick, and it's a deal.
Yep.
or Kuzma. I mean, I just want to pick.
The last person I want back in Detroit is Avery Bradley.
Yeah, for real. Like, we traded away. Who did we trade? We traded Marcus Morris for him, and he went off in Boston, and Bradley just became a nobody. Yeah, but I think D-Rose doesn't get traded. I hate seeing him play in Detroit. I mean, that sounds bad to say, but play for an awful team. I want to see him fight for a contender. Golden State Warriors.
What the hell?
Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, Jordan Poole, and number 2 pick for Ben Simmons and Al Horford. Yo, if you're the Warriors, pull the trigger on that, but there's no way that Philly does that, right?
I don't know, dude.
I think it... Okay, but...
With them firing their coach...
Doesn't it make more sense for Philly to trade Joel Embiid in this situation over Simmons?
We've had this conversation so many times.
No, but, like, as far as, like... For the Warriors aspect, though.
Oh, yeah, they want
Joel Embiid fits way better than Simmons. I mean,
I guess
I don't know, though, dude. Simmons would be nice because you could just... You play him at the 4 and
play him like Draymond.
Yeah, like, dude, imagine Curry, Clay. You just play Simmons at the 3. Curry, Clay, Simmons, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. Because Simmons can run the offense, and Curry and Clay can just run off of screens. Horford can, set screens.
The deadliest two-way knife.
That would be insane for the Warriors, but I feel like Joel Embiid would kind of, they would want him more than Ben Simmons. But
I like to trade for both teams, though. I think it's time for the Sixers to make a change, but they've started their change. They have a new head coach. They're hoping. I think
they just need to add a piece. I don't think they need to get rid of Simmons and Embiid yet. I think you need to try something else out.
Try a new coach for sure.
And also you get off Al Horford's contract too.
Yeah, which is awful.
So maybe that's why this trade makes sense because the Sixers just getting rid of Al Horford is a W. Houston Rockets. Trade Eric Gordon to the 76ers for Al Horford. That's not a bad trade.
Not bad.
But do the Rockets want Horford's big contract,
and the Sixers don't take it.
I think the Sixers do. You get off of... You're saving
maybe.
Horford's on a huge deal.
And he played
They just want to
awful.
get rid of Horford. And Gordon would be a good fit for Embiid and Simmons because...
Shooter.
He's a shooter, yeah. I think that's a good trade for both sides.
We don't want to start going through this a little bit faster.
We are going through pretty fast. Indiana Pacers. Victor Oladipo to the Heat for Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, and Kelly Olynyk.
What a great pick. What a great trade for the Pacers.
That's a smart... I didn't even think about something like that.
That's a decent trade. I don't want to see the
Oladipo on the Heat would be cool, though.
It would be. He fits the...
I think Kendrick Nunn could definitely be a guy to get traded. I think they like Duncan Robinson too much, though.
He fits the mojo.
Yeah. Clippers. Sign and trade Montrezl Harrell and Landry Shamet to the Thunder for Steven Adams.
Bad.
Is Steven Adams that much better than Montrezl Harrell anymore?
Bad. No.
Or not reunite Steven Adams and Paul George? I think it's bad. Lakers. Didn't the Lakers no, that was the Pistons one. Trade Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, KCP, and Caruso to the Thunder for Chris Paul. Good trade. You don't have to give up a pick, and you get Chris Paul.
Good.
For the OKC, I think OKC would ask for a pick. Just the way Sam Presti is.
He'd say, I don't want Caruso.
Yeah, for real. Grizzlies. Justice Winslow, Kyle Anderson, and Grayson Allen to the Kings for Buddy Hield.
Wow.
I didn't even think about Buddy Hield with the Grizzlies.
I've
always thought about the Sixers or just the Sixers pretty much.
I love that. I like Buddy Hield sitting next to John Morant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that too.
You have one of the... Oh, my word.
Because Justice Winslow really hasn't really shown that he's going to be a part of their future yet.
No.
I
Brandon
like that.
Clark,
I like that a lot.
Triple J.
For sure.
Trey J.
Ooh, this one is bad. The Heat, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, and Kelly Olynyk for Joel Embiid.
This is the worst trade I've ever seen.
Dude, I don't even think they would do Adebayo for Embiid straight up. No. I really don't even think they would. Embiid is better than Adebayo, but I think the Heat value Bam too high. He's younger. He's a better playmaker. That's all I have to say. Bad. Milwaukee Bucks.
Good.
Eric Bledsoe, Dante DiVincenzo, blah, blah, blah for Chris Paul.
Good. We've talked about that so many times.
Timberwolves, Jarrett Culver, James Johnson, and the number 1 pick to the Pacers for Oladipo.
Awful.
It's actually not, because the Timberwolves need to be good next year, though.
Why?
Because they don't own their pick. It's the Warriors have it.
You can still be good with, if you take James Wiseman
you mean Anthony Edwards. They're not going to take Wiseman.
Anybody. You can still be good.
Yeah. It's not as bad as it sounds, but I mean, the number one pick is the number one pick. Like, I think Oladipo is not worth the number one pick.
Me either.
Pelicans trade Drew Holiday to the Heat for Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, and Kelly Olynyk. So the same thing with the Oladipo.
Why are these three in every trade?
I don't know.
Wait, we didn't say bad or good.
Bad.
Okay, bad. I agree. I don't know.
The Knicks trade Mitchell Robinson and the 8th pick to the Warriors for the 2nd pick.
Good. I like that trade for both sides. I like that
so
trade.
the Knicks can get Melo Ball, but Mitchell Robinson is like the only good young promising player under RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
I think Mitchell Robinson probably more promising so far. The Warriors still get the 8th pick too, and they get Mitchell Robinson.
I like that
That's
trade for both sides.
Thunder, the same one that was with the Bucks.
They're saying, yeah.
Magic, Vucevic, Al-Farouq Aminu to the Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole in the 2nd pick. Ooh, Vooch on the Warriors?
I know you have to throw in Andrew Wiggins to make the money work.
Yeah.
But
Wiggins on the Magic, I kind of like it, though.
But I think the Warriors are giving up a lot.
Yeah, the 2nd pick and Wiggins. Al-Farouq Aminu would be a nice piece for them, though.
Definitely. He fits.
Yeah, it's not bad. 76ers, Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson to the Kings for Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield. I don't think the Kings do that.
I do.
Suns, Kelly Oubre and Ty Jerome to the Magic for Aaron Gordon. That's a W for both teams, I would say.
Absolutely.
Kelly Oubre will probably get traded this offseason, so all the females can figure out what team to root for. Whoa! The Blazers, CJ McCollum, Anthony Simons, and the number 16 pick and a 2022 top 5 protected pick for Ben Simmons?
Bad.
There's no way that Philly would do that.
You're giving up so
Philly
much.
Philly might do that.
You threw the bag in for a player that we don't know.
For a player that now you just have Simmons. Actually, you still got Nurk. You got Gary Trent.
Okay, but Gary Trent.
Dude, this trade might not be bad, bro.
This
might not be bad.
I think Ben Simmons is a little too ball dominant.
I don't know how Dame and Ben Simmons would work, but
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Sacramento Kings.
I'm slowly sliding down.
Buddy Hield for LaMarcus Aldridge and Lonnie Walker. I don't know how Buddy Hield on the Buddy Hield on the Spurs. No, I didn't miss one.
Oh no, I think
Buddy Hield on the Spurs. I think LaMarcus on the Kings would be cool. Whatever. That one's what I don't even have an opinion about that one. The Spurs trade LaMarcus Aldridge and Derek White to the Nets for Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, Torian Prince, and the number 19th pick. Bad. The Nets are giving up way too much. LaMarcus Aldridge ain't worth that much.
No, but that would be a cool fit. But again,
it would be cool to see him play with KD
really
and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Raptors. Sign and trade Fred VanVleet to the Pacers for Oladipo. Straight up? VanVleet for Oladipo? I don't know how that... I don't think that would ever happen.
I don't think
but
the Raptors would agree to that.
I don't think they would either. Like, if VanVleet's healthy, Oladipo, we don't know. Like, Oladipo is obviously...
But at the same time, they're getting something in return for Fred VanVleet in this.
That's true.
Like, if they just let him walk, they're not getting anything. Okay.
Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert in the 23rd pick for Joel Embiid. How does Rudy Gobert fit any better in Philly than Joel Embiid?
He fits way worse.
He fits worse because Joel Embiid can kind of stretch the floor. Gobert just sits in the paint. That is an awful trade.
Awful trade.
If you do this, then you also have to trade Ben Simmons and do that Portland trade.
Just blow the whole thing.
You might as well. Washington Wizards, probably the last one. Bradley Beal to the Heat for Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, and Olynyk.
Oh, man. As a Heat fan.
Dude, that's a dub, bro. That's a dub. I know you're giving up Tyler, Duncan, and Nunn. But dude,
the window is small.
Beal, Jimmy, Bam. You still got Dragic, and dude, that's nice.
Depends on how they do this year. If they get bounced right here, you make that deal. If they make it to the finals, you do not make that deal.
I agree. That's pretty much it for that article. So, yeah.
Let me double check, make sure we're still...
So this is already an hour and 24. If you're still watching right now
or listening,
shout out to you because this is a long episode. We still going?
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing of the episode.
Quick idea.
We should do a timestamp. Like if you want to go listen straight to football.
Oh yeah.
Listen at an hour and 25
Can you
minutes.
just put that in at the beginning? Like when you edit it, can you just put that in there? Like
Or you just like put it in the Instagram.
Put it in the description of the YouTube video.
Oh, and the podcast. I'll put it in.
Yeah.
I'll start putting it in the podcast description.
Yeah.
I like
thinking.
that.
Good thinking.
Because I know a lot of people.
We're brainstorming on mid podcast.
We're gonna be talking because we've got
a lot of people just want to listen to football. You know, a lot of people just want to listen to basketball.
That's okay.
That's why I like switching up the order of what we talk about first every week.
But now there's gonna be
next week we'll talk about NFL first, or Saturday we'll talk about NFL first. But.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put timestamps in the bottom. So so football starts at 1 minute 25 seconds.
Welcome, football listeners.
1 minute 25 seconds.
So, last week we had our first ever weekly predictions. We're starting them on Wednesday now because we're dumb and we did it after Thursday Night Football. So the picks were out of 15 last week instead of 16. So we're gonna keep track of who wins every week. I had 8 right out of 15, which is pretty bad, honestly.
I believe that's pretty good.
I think you got to get at least like 10.
Well, you have to get if you get half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're getting half, you can just guess and do that. Good.
Yeah, exactly. Easton got 7 right. I beat him. Week 1 goes to me. I
need
win.
to have a board somewhere.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we so will. So, on to week 2. Let's get right into our predictions. Are you ready?
Week 2.
Week 2 predictions.
Dude, I can't believe you beat me. That pisses me right off.
Hey, it's a Joe Burrow pick.
Oh.
You picked Joe Burrow. All right, starting off with Thursday Night Football. Cincinnati 0-1 at Cleveland 0-1. Just saying the records. I got Cleveland.
I got Cincinnati.
Ooh,
Go with Joe
you're
Burrow.
going Joe Burrow.
Joe
Burrow. I think Cleveland will win, even though they got killed by Baltimore. Game 2. 0-1 Denver Broncos at the 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Go Broncos.
I'm going Broncos too. I took them last week. They lost. No way they let me down twice, right?
Nope. No way.
That's how you're with Joe Burrow. Game 3. 0-1 Carolina Panthers at the 0-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're going Tampa Bay.
We're going Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
You got to go Tampa Bay. They ain't going to lose.
Tom Brady is not going to have a bad game 2 weeks in a row. Oh, my word. Real quick. Is that on the list? Are we going to talk about them specifically?
Oh, I forgot to talk about the Lions.
No, you have that. We'll talk about that after this.
Yeah.
So, somebody in my group chat was talking crazy on Tom Brady. Hayden Salter, if you're listening, was talking. He's like, Tom Brady isn't good anymore. It's his first game of the new offense in 16 years.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You're talking
that's
I was like
cap,
getting
bro.
mad.
That's awful.
He's like, Drew Brees is way better. Well, Drew Brees has been. If Tom Brady stays in New England, this is his first game of the new offense.
That's awful.
He's like, he threw a pick 6. I was like, yeah. He threw another pick
So
too.
does everyone. Everyone throws a pick 6.
Okay, it was his worst game in 15 years and cut him a break. There's probably somebody out there who's a bigger Tom Brady fan than me that knows that's not his worst game. But
all right, next game. 0-1 San Francisco 49ers at the 0-1 New York Jets.
San Fran.
I also got San Fran.
They're not going to lose twice.
Next, 1-0 Jacksonville Jaguars. Surprising win for them at the 1-0 Tennessee Titans.
Taking Tennessee.
I'm going Jacksonville. I'm going 2. They're going to win 2 straight. I don't know why. Just going with it.
Madness, baby.
It's probably going to be wrong.
I had Minshew.
0-1 New York Giants at the 1-0 Chicago Bears.
I'm switching my pick. Give me the pen. I'm putting Giants. Go Giants. Why can't I think of their...
Danny Dimes?
Yeah.
I also went with Giants because Mitchell Trubisky only plays good against the Lions, so they are not playing the Lions, so they will lose.
Yep.
Next, 1-0 LA Rams up against the 0-1 Philadelphia Eagles.
Going Philly again.
I am also going Philly 2 weeks in a row.
I don't think you went Philly last week.
I don't know. 0-1 Minnesota Vikings at the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts. I picked both these teams to win last week, and they both didn't.
Colts. I'm big on the Colts.
Me too. 0-1 Detroit Lions at the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. Did I click the right one?
It was the trumpet. I don't know if that's
Okay, I wanted to be like, because the Packers suck.
Wah.
Going Lions.
Lions,
I'll never not pick the Lions unless they do what they did last year and tank. Then I won't.
Screw the Packers.
0-1 Atlanta Falcons at the 0-1 Dallas Cowboys.
Don't go Cowboys, but I got to pick them because I want to win next week. Go Cowboys.
I'm going Atlanta Falcons. I'm tired of picking Cowboys to win and they lose. It's that simple.
It's going to change this
Done
week.
picking them. 1-0 Buffalo Bills at 0-1 Miami Dolphins.
Go Bills.
Divisional matchup. Bills Mafia all day.
Yes, sir.
1-0 Washington football team at 1-0 Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the Cardinals in this one.
Me too. No,
I don't want
it's
Washington
gonna be
to
a
win.
murder. Gonna be a murder.
I don't want Washington to win a football
You
game
don't
this
have
year.
you don't have a cool name like.
Yeah.
Game of the week for me. I starred this one.
Yep.
1-0 Baltimore Ravens at the 0-1 Houston Texans. This one was tough for me, but I went Baltimore. They played too good to lose.
It's just they're a regular season football team.
Also, another tough one for me. 1-0 Kansas City Chiefs at the 1-0 LA Chargers.
This was a tough one.
I'm going LA Chargers, baby.
That might be the pick that makes you lose. Kansas City.
I'm going with that just because I need a pick that's gonna put me over the edge. Like if they do end up winning,
You look like a genius.
I look like a genius.
Yeah.
And if they lose, I don't really look like an idiot because the Chiefs will probably win. Actually, maybe it looks like an idiot. I don't know. On to Sunday Night Football, the 1-0 New England Patriots at the 1-0 Seattle Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Seahawks, yep. Then on to Monday Night Football, 1-0 New Orleans Saints at the 1-0 Las Vegas Raiders.
Go Saints.
Got the Saints as well. We had a lot of similar picks this
We
week.
did last week too.
Yeah. So, last thing I want to talk
I'm about to
about
start just flipping a coin.
is something that I'm not going to get that upset about because I kind of already got all my anger out.
You're over it now.
So,
Stop.
pretty much, Sunday, if you didn't know, I think I talked about it. I wasn't really able to watch the Detroit Lions game. I was at work. I got to watch half of the first quarter, and I didn't get to watch the rest. And I was very upset because I love watching the Lions. Like, not being able to watch the Lions, like kills me. Like, it's
It
just
hurt.
like the Lions are my favorite team, like, in all of sports. Like, not just, like, favorite football team. Like, I love watching the Lions. Even when they suck, I just love watching them. But it was probably a good thing that I didn't watch them.
You might not have TV.
And the thing is, I went on in the when there was like a minute left in the game, I just went in the back. I was like, hey, call me up if you need me. Like I gotta watch this, and I watched it on. I didn't watch it, but I just I was on the GameCast on the ESPN app. And first of all, I want to say DeAndre Swift, keep your head up. A lot of people are gonna hate on you, and it was his first NFL game. Obviously, that's a catch you got to make, especially, like to prove yourself, but you're going to have a lot more opportunities, and I don't want to be that guy who tears on a rookie in his first ever NFL game.
Guys, I want to interject here. That game is not your fault. It isn't. That loss is not your fault at all. You are fine. We're still supporting you. AP already pulled you to the side and said what he had to say. You got to have short-term memory, and you got to get past that because you have plenty more opportunities to be great. And we're all rooting for you as Lions fans. There's going to be a lot of people. Lion fans are sick of losing, and it makes us assholes.
This is what I want to say. There is no other team in sports, not just in the NFL, that when you have a lead, like a large lead late in the game, going into the fourth quarter, that is not a good thing. I don't like when the Lions have a lead going into the fourth quarter. I don't like it. I never have because I know we're going to blow it. And it's just like, I shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it. Scuba, obviously, is a Ravens fan. Nate is obviously a Steelers fan. Shout out you guys if you're still listening. Both of those teams went into the fourth quarter of their games last week with the lead. And they just increased the lead and they won. And they go into the fourth quarter of that game like let's go. We got the lead. Just one more quarter. Let's do it. I go into the fourth quarter when the Lions are up a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, and I'm like, shit, dude. This is not good.
Yeah.
I like being down because the Lions have come back a lot. The Lions don't get blown out or they don't blow other teams out. Every game will be within 2 touchdowns. That's just how the Lions are. That's why you'd probably have a heart attack at some point because of the Lions. But it's just I don't want to put it on Stafford. It's the first game of the year, but it's just like obviously this is going to happen to the Lions at some point. But for it to happen in the first game of the year, it's just a heartbreaker. It's just a killer. It's just like, man, and it's going to be like this season against a Bears team that is not supposed to be good this year, and they're not. And Mitchell Trubisky, probably the worst starting quarterback in the league.
They're not good.
They're not. Like their defense wasn't even good. Like that's the Bears defense. They didn't even have Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack didn't even play.
I don't get the Lions, man. You didn't get to watch the game.
No one does.
You didn't get to watch the game. I'm sorry. You should be glad. It was bad, dude.
I still know what happened. Like, trust me, yeah.
For like a couple possessions throughout the football game, they just let Stafford sling it all over the field, just throwing wherever he wants. And then they get into the fourth quarter, he's throwing like 6-yard slant routes, 4-yard
They just play
outs.
timid. They play timid.
They
when
don't
get
play
the
to
lead.
win.
Yeah.
They play not
They play
to lose.
to not lose. Yeah.
We've said it for years as Lions fans. I saw a really
You have to keep being aggressive. There's no,
Yeah.
and like Stafford. I don't want to put this game on him, but that pick he threw obviously got tipped up in the air. But like, where was he going with that pass? Like he threw into double coverage in the
Middle of the
it just like you might as well just just throw it away. Like I don't know what he was thinking with that pass. You're right though. They don't play aggressive when they have the lead. They play aggressive when they're losing because they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You
play better.
You might as well. A lot of teams play better with their backs against the wall. And this is just like the Clippers kind of, but it's just like the Lions just always do this. They can't get a lead. And it doesn't matter who our coach is. It's always been the same with the Lions. It's even when it was before Matt Stafford. My dad used to watch the Lions. It's just like it's always been that way. And I don't really understand it. I don't get how because the Lions that I watch now and the Lions that were around 20 years ago are completely different. They still are the Detroit Lions, but completely different management, different coaching, different players, but it's still the same. And I just don't understand why it's like that.
It's hard being a Lions fan. It's no secret.
But I always will be.
Everybody knows that there's no hard. It's a normal consensus around when I'm on Twitter. It's not Lions fans tweeting about, man, it must be hard to be a Lions fan. It's
everyone
everywhere.
else.
Everywhere's like, man, could you imagine being a Lions fan?
Yeah, it's not just people from Michigan. It's
Everyone.
It's everywhere.
And
everyone knows that the Lions are the laughing stock of the league. Everyone knows
It's
that.
sad.
Them and it's just they're like the Knicks of basketball. They're like,
Yep.
I can't think of a baseball team, but
However, I saw a tweet that made me smile. It said, watching the Lions today blow a fourth quarter 28-3 lead, 26-3 lead,
23-6. Yep.
made me feel good. Gave 2020 a sense of normalcy for once. Finally, the year feels normal.
That's
Lions
funny. That's
blowing a
nice.
lead.
That's nice.
It made me smile, and it made me think, you know what? Maybe we won't be so bad this year. Maybe things won't be so bad.
Yeah. So pretty much, we had a couple injuries also. Kenny Galladay didn't play. He should play week 2 against Green Bay. Jeff Okudah didn't play. He should also play. Justin Coleman though, kind of like I would say the leader of our defense probably.
Ooh.
What?
I would think, not going to be able to think of his name, the linebacker.
Jamie Collins.
There you go.
I'd say Coleman is just because he's been here for a year longer, and they're both veterans, but Coleman got placed on the IR, so he'll be out till at least week 5, probably week 6, which kind of sucks. He's a great piece, but I will be able to watch the Lions this week. So
Why, you're not working on Sunday?
no, I'm not.
How'd you get out of that?
I requested it off.
Just for Lions?
No, well, kind of, but I'm going up to Todd Gray. But
Okay.
But it was kind of to watch this game against Green Bay because I want to see him beat Green Bay. I looked at the schedule and requested off months ago.
That's awesome.
But Michael Thomas also, this isn't Lions, but Michael Thomas is out for several weeks. I think I said that really loud, but
I don't
he's
think it's
out.
too bad.
He's out for several weeks, and there's really no reason why, which sucks
Ankle.
because I have Michael Thomas in fantasy
Me too.
in my family league, and I lost my game by 1 point, dude.
He had 4.7 points.
Well, he only had he had 1 point in my league because it's not PPR.
He had 4 in
Yeah.
mine.
Which is just like,
Michael, come on.
come on, why you got to get hurt, man?
But it's okay. I got Alvin
yeah,
Kamara.
no, it's cool.
So Alvin Kamara will step up.
But yeah, for the Lions, maybe me not watching them is probably why they lost. So
That's right. You didn't.
I didn't get to watch. I didn't get to wear my carry-on jersey.
just
You
gonna
know,
say that.
I always had to. I used to be the thing of my Golden Tate jersey. Now it's my carry-on jersey. I'm gonna have to switch it up though because I don't know how much carry-on. Okay. Also, I did not expect Adrian Peterson
No.
to get that many touches. He had a good game.
Good game.
He had like 90-some rushing yards, had like 20 receiving yards. Swift had 2 carries, and Carry-On had like 4.
That's okay with me.
It's not though.
If
Why are you
AP
not playing those guys?
If AP's playing well, I don't have. a
I
problem
agree
with
with okay, yeah, I do agree with that. But I'm saying just because of that game, don't think AP is a number 1. The rest
No.
you need AP is there to make your young guys better, not to steal their spot and make them worse. But Matt Patricia, please figure it out. Bob Quinn, please figure it out.
So you missed a lot of football, right? How many games did you miss on Sunday?
I only got to watch Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football.
When did Tampa play?
I didn't watch that game. They played either at 1 or 4, but I didn't watch it. No, I like watch the highlights of it. I watch the highlights of every game.
Rough game to watch, dude. Rough.
New Orleans just dominated.
New Orleans looked so much better. Tom Brady looked uncomfortable. Mike Evans also scored like 4 points in my fantasy league. Which is really
Chris
weird.
Godwin. Chris Godwin is out now too. He's
Yep.
on concussion protocol.
Yep.
That sucks. I have him in fantasy.
Leonard Fournette had like 4 points. I didn't start him.
Yeah, and Calvin Ridley had 35 points off the bench for me, and I lost to Jagger.
Oh,
Screw
dude.
you, Jagger, if you're listening.
I bet you Jagger just rub that in your face.
Somebody, did he have Devontae Adams had like 40 points.
Yeah.
And I think he had Devontae Adams. I scored like 130. I had like the fourth highest points in the league this week, and I lost because of Jagger.
Is there an Aaron Jones and an Adam Jones? Is there?
Adam Jones is you talking about Pac-Man Jones?
Yeah.
He's a corner, yeah. But his name's Adam Jones, yeah.
Where?
I don't even know if he's still in the league, but he was on Cincinnati for the longest time.
Because
I don't know if he's still in the league.
The other
though.
day I was looking, and I just like instinctively I was like, oh, Chase Smith is looking to trade Adam Jones. And
Well,
Jack,
Adam Jones used to play. He was a center fielder too for Baltimore Orioles.
I would
He
know
was
that.
cold, like he was actually good.
but Jack looks at me and goes, you mean Aaron? I was like, I thought it was Adam. I was like, I know there's Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah, you got anything else to say? I think it's about time to wrap it up. We've been going here for a while. We'll put in a stamp for
Football listeners. It was a little
college.
short.
We'll just put in a stamp for like everything though.
Yeah.
We'll put in like college football,
Basketball.
NBA basketball, then the Bleacher Report reaction, football. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
So
that works.
let's see who wins the weekly picks next week, and
We'll get a board or something to like showcase the winners.
we'll get a board. That'll be cool.
with like our faces.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on Saturday.
Peace.
Peace.